Alright peeps, welcome back to Wee Trees. I actually totally forgot about the old bad water tree. Look at that bad lad spinning away there making heaps of power. You join us with a freshly flowing waterfall. Unfortunately, that still has that dodgy little gap there. We'll get back to that gap. But for now, look at this, we got water flowing all the way underneath this path. And that helps ensure that we get even water flow down to that floodgate, out to this fancy floodgate, and, last but not least, this fancy bit floodgate up there! Because these floodgates are absolutely essential to our big old irrigation system that we got going on. And it is a big old irrigation system to say the very least. So big, in fact, that I'm struggling to get me way out of here. There must be an up. Oh, there it is. I've got to get up here. Oh, this is going to be a canny jump, isn't it? Straight out to there. Go on! Oh, yeah, you hopping beaver. And if I've still got my sense of direction, I now believe it's this way. We're going back down. And eventually, we'll get to the bloody lake. Oh, look, there's my sluice. Hello, sluice. I bet you there's still water knocking about on the other side of ye, isn't there? But unfortunately, there is no water at all knocking about in our fancy. Oh, there's water in my lake! Oh, it must be coming from this other source. Tell you what, it feels kinda nice to get out of that bloody irrigation tunnel, like. Oh, that's right. One of the cliffhangers we ended the last episode on was, our baby beavers gonna swim in our lovely little pools. I mean, I certainly hope so. I really want to get this bloody water level proper up and running. And we can't rely on this bit waterfall here, because this bit waterfall is only one water source. Not that we can see it, thanks to the sluice. The sluices are huge when you're in first person, like. But anywho, enough of that first person mode. Let's check on our beavers. They have an entire apple, but they do also have 5.1k water, which I'm very happy with. Now, something I learned very recently about the leaf coats and their big old wee trees is these trees have got some capillaries in them that transport goods left, right and centre. So we should be popping our large tanks with the ladders facing the correct direction so it all lines up directly on top of our large slurpers. And I'm going to get 3 of each on there. We can't be overshadowing the big old wee tree district centre, you know? And I love the fact that beavers have already got one of these in. To 2 of these. One of these on each bloody level. I suppose that's what happens when you've got all the bloody logs knocking about. Look at that, we've got a beaver banging away from within the bloody water tank, plopping in another water tank on the tippity top. There it is. I knew it was going to get popped in when I got that bit of lag. Well, that's even more water storage. And yes, on leaf coats, we prioritise the storage by haulers. Not that we should have to, actually, because the water should go directly from here, up into here, and then up into here, and then up into here! But I'm still going to prioritise them all by haulers anyway, just cause. Oh, look at our army of builders getting the logs up there! And I'm making my way up through the wonderful... Oh, look at the fancy teal! The wonderful pine forest is what I was going to say, but look at the fancy teal there, man! That looks mad, I bloody love it. Well, I was coming up this way to say good day to good old Bobingabout here with his fancy green tail to say cheers, mate, for letting us know about the old fancy tree capillary pneumatic tube system. But now that we've got 6 fancy water storages knocking about up here, I reckon it's time to reallocate some of these tanks. Say, for example, maybe store some extract in there. Ooh-hoo! Drought approaching in 3 days. 3 days into the bloody cycle! If I hadn't come to expect this, I might be a tad perturbed. Oh, look, there's the water gushing out of our little irrigation system that we got lost in at the beginning of the episode. Now, if nought else, having a big old drought incoming gives our beavers time to finish scrapping the last of this, and for me to embark on master irrigation plan. Because in particular, this corner keeps drying up, hence why there was a leaf coat, planting a leaf coat there. You know what? I'm not going to edit out that little misspeak there, because I clearly have leaf coats, planting leaf coats on the mind. And that's because if we go into plants and trees and bushes here, we've got 2 beaver plants. Look at that wee little leaf coat doing there. He's such a little cutie, look at him. We can also plant straight up adults like with fancy little iron teeth with big old breeding pods. Now I've been thinking about somewhere to plant these beavers for quite some time now. And I reckon we might finally make use of this wee island here. Now to make sure we get this nice and even, I'm going to want to pop this. Well, apparently I can't because there's a bloody tree in the way. But if I get underneath that porch there, thankfully this bottom one's only 3 wide as well, I can spin around, do the old R, and now we get a slightly offset bridge. I love it. I actually genuinely love a little slightly offset bridge like that. But now it's just a case of plonking more bridges on, and that could be a nice high priority for your beavers. Now unfortunately, that does mean we're just straight up banging away at this entire bit of greenery on the top here. And we'll leaf coats. Definitely like that. Whoever comes and bangs these will be an absolute plant murderer. Well, speaking of plant murderers, I've also been advised that there's been the big update with 1.0. While Leaf Coat Katura here no longer gets plant murderer debuffs when chopping down dead trees. But our builders do get a plant murderer debuff. Say, for example, when I asked them to get all of these out of here when we're doing our big irrigation plan. And that is why we had so many plant murderers, even though I had no beavers chopping down trees. So, you know, my bad. And he, beaver, can gandy something else. And with 1.5 days remaining until the drought hits, I have a sinking feeling we are not going to get this lake all the way up to the tippity top. But I shall contemplate about it. As well as contemplate about the fact we've got any bloody pine resin storage. Fruits! Look at the fruits! I just saw those pop up. That's thanks to our 2 water dumpers here. Barely keeping it going. Oh, do we have a sluice in here? We should have a sluice in here, or we do have a sluice in here. Grand, and it's open. But this whole water entry point kind of requires the lake to be filled. Which it, well, isn't. Now what I'm tempted to do, peeps, I'm tempted to bring the world down just a touch until we get to the sluice here and close this sluice above 1. So this sluice will help keep all of our food irrigated thanks to those 2 fluid dumpers. But once this is up at 1 and we're just purely building pressure, any water that the fluid dumpers dump in should go, oh, hello leaf code, should go to just filling up the old mangrove pool here. Oh, look at this! We're plant murderers! Woo! We're plant murderers are properly getting amongst demolishing all the greenery on this bit hill. Well, I say hill because while the water level's so low, doesn't really resemble an island all that much, does it? Ooh, very nice. Well, Lumberjack Flag has got the chop and doon this shelf here. That means we can plant some good old-fashioned pines all the way along. And then we're just going to have more dry out in this corner. But you know, after this drought, we shan't have that problem anymore. Or at least I sure hope we don't. You know, let's watch the last of these plant murderers murdering those wonderful oaks. 8 logs a pop they are, but we are left with a nice little island top here. Absolutely ripe for a bit of beaver planting. Oh, can I rotate these? Oh, they have to face the bloody sun. Classic beaver plants. We're going to do adults run the outside, and then we're going to do a layer of babbies run the inside. And you can't be left with a hole in the middle of the farm and not pop a bloody scarecrow on. We can't have the crows coming and peck them with bloody leaf coats now, can we? Oh, look at right, forester time. Now I purposely put a 3 long branch bridge on here so again. Oh, why can't I delete that? Oh, do I have to delete this first? Oh no. Well, I want to put a tree in there anyway. But I suppose for now, we'll let the beavers bang in the big old scarecrow. Go on, I reckon you can do it. Oh, well, if your beaver buddies had the bloody resources with you, I reckon you could have done it. I love the fact they take branches as well. Hello, I hope you keep me little leafy coat plantation nice and safe. And something I noticed while standing atop that scarecrow there, all of these beavers, as they're growing, are going to be watching all the fun they'll be having in the gardens and the pools. And the latter part, providing the water level's high enough. And I'm sorry, 16 plant motorers! I'm also sorry to myself for having to delete all these bloody things again. Well, that's now to matter. We're going to be plopping a tree run here anyway. And I reckon this wee tree will be perfect for a wee wind gauge. Oh yeah, we got another 26-day drought as well, so wonderful! I'm also not sure if or how we gather these wee beavers here, or if they just pop off the plants when they're ready. I guess we'll find out. And because I decided to go with an oval tree here, I thought why not pop a fancy pants hauling post on here. Look at our beavers, we've got 3 of them bloody banging away here. There's that much going on, it's just lag spike after lag spike. Speed 3 is not my friend at the moment. But we do have some decent progress happening. I'm also tempted to pause these two. Oh, does it matter? Does it actually matter? I mean, oh, it does, because I want to try and keep... Oh, no. The leaf coat statue in the forest. I completely forgot about it. But the forest is dying. And it's starting to reveal the leaf coat. We also might have to do something about this owl industry here, like. Because we've got any batteries. Because somebody keeps putting batteries in front of bloody wood workshops, didn't they? Absolute numpties. But at least were replacement batteries worked. Until they hit the deck, that is. So yeah, now beavers, any battery that is not currently on the deck, get your resources back for it. And like we did over here, instead of having it come out the side and get blocked by the wood workshop, we're going to do an auto rotate and plonk it in there. But I'm also going to check that there's nothing beneath this and it can go all the way down and can. Lovely. Oh, look, we've got power now, and you can see why it wasn't a gun and doon. Although we do have plenty of pine resin in the wood workshop. What about the lumber press? Almost full on pine resin, and the laddies that are making the planks. This is grand. Our big old pine plantation is peeing off very nicely. Oh, look at all of that bloody resin that we haven't even... That's right! We haven't even got storage for pine resin. How long ago did I bloody bang on about that? Large warehouse? Once I make sure the ladders are the correct way round, get plunked on there, because ye are storing some bloody pine resin, pal. And I have a sinking suspicion that our wee storage tree here is very rapidly encroaching on the height limit. Let's test out by saying, can I put another warehouse on top? Ah, can I at least put, like, some branches or something? No way! That's the height limit right there. I can't do anything. Can I put a... I won't be able to put a path on. Decorative floor. I can't even put a decorative floor on! No! You know what we didn't need? We didn't need this access at the top here. Beavers, and I mean specifically the beaver I'm about to uncover right here, who was banging in the old big warehouse. Well, once the game decides it's gonna not crash. Well, yeah, oh, 2 beavers for the price of 1! Yeah, now beavers, you know the crack, 15 days, pick all of that up, and I will ask you to build another warehouse on the tippity top. The second you've got all of that picked up. I mean, to be fair, look at them, they're just disappearing right in front of our eyes. I can plop it doing already. Didn't even take them a day. Well, that, beavers, is your pine resin storage. What do we do on the top? That is the question. And we only have 1 block to work with, so we can't be doing anything that's too high. Now, I would like to do something fancy. Oh, it's drying out already. Did you see that? Got all dry in the corner. 13.8 days. Looks like the beavers will be chopping these down, unfortunately. And I don't currently have them set for chopping. Near live trees are set for chopping down, that I know of at least. Now what I really want to do is get one of these observation terraces on the crack, but I'm unsure precisely how I can do it. So let's have ourselves a testing session. Branch bridge, pause so it doesn't get built. And then we got an observation terrace. Oh, it does! It bloody does! Well, that is exactly what I wanted to bloody well do here. Oh, hang on, I need to have a think about this. Right, basically, do I do an observation terrace there, and then a contemplation spot hanging off the back? Or, bear with me, do I do an observation terrace like this off a 2 long branch bridge, and then pop a contemplation spot off the end when I get the rotation right? Ooh! Looks like me decision's being made for me. It's going to have to be 3 long, with a contemplation spot hanging off the edge. Alright, well I'm going to put 4 of those up. And by 4, I of course realised we've got 6 long bridges and get 2 on each. So we've got 8 of the feckers not going to boot up the top of the tree. Yeah! Look at that bad lad right there, man. Or should I be a bit clever about it and not build these ones just yet? Because we haven't finished growing the rest of a big old wee tree yet, have we? And I'm purposely not putting paths in because I want to wait until all 3 of these arms are in here. Now I did really want some shrubbery on here, and we do have the shorter shrub, but it's still too lanky. I was thinking we could do a hedge, but just a single hedge by itself does look a tad strange, you know what I mean? Like, it's just a tad strange. So I thought, you know what? Let's just get some bloody benches out here. It can be a proper chill hangout spot for the beavers. And it's only 80 science points. Now, of course, we can't be having this hanging off the edge here. We need to secure that somehow. And we're going to do that with a bit of plankage. All the way across the top. Off in the middle, of course. We've got to have our hole open to the sun. All proud like. Oh, look at this! We've got 4 built-up beavers banging in one bloody block. They're absolutely smashing these decorative floors. And, by the looks of things, benches in. What a bunch of leg ends. Is that all in? It's all in, isn't it? Alright then, beavers. Clock off a clock. Cycle 18. Day 10. We are going to be opening this bad lad. Oh, what are we storing? We're storing some bloody plaid resin. Why, yay. These leaf coats are absolute leg ends. Like proper, certified, leggy ends. And our scrappers are doing fine work over here. There's honestly not much left. But to help them along with that, why didn't we get another grinder on the gun? Hanging off the back of the gear workshop there. I love it so very much. And since it's all up a height, we can get proper fancy with how we get there. Especially considering it's update 1 and we got big old spiral staircases. Alright now peeps, what do you think of me fancy little spiral staircase getting up to that level? I did have to be cheeky, pop a branch bridge on, but it's alright. It gives us plenty of headroom up here to get crazy with it later on. Because we will be getting crazy with it. This industry is only half done. And it's not just bonus little batteries that we need to be adding to this bad lad. And yes, I did forget to pop this battery in. But if I pop this battery in here, let's get right above it here, just before the shadows flip over. So there we go. And then we zoom down, and we need to blow up this big block here. Oh, I shouldn't say blow up. We need to loosen this terrain right here. Oh, beavers! I may have mildly forgot, but it is officially clock off a clock, so it's time to get connected. And I'll just be eagerly waiting up here for all you beavers! Oh, that's Tomad! Hello, Tomo, what's going on? Look at all of me leaf coats sitting at the top of the map and showing up with the fancy overhang terraces, man! Oh, I'm sitting on the benches. Oh, I was going to sit there, but it's alright. You can sit with your mate and leave the second they'll leave as well. That's not forgetting all the contemplation spots and triple-decker medical beds we've got going on here. Now, we'll be quiet over here. The beavers are trying to rest and recover, you know. That could not have went better, like. I'm very happy with our all of our observation terraces. I even quite like the benches. I quite like them. And I do like the fact that when you put the decorative floor on, it goes over the edge. So it's like a bit of support for the blocks that do, you know, go over the corner of the block of the tree there. Oh, and do I see under that shadow there? We've got our leaf coats planted! Oh, what you doing facing other directions? That wasn't part of the plan. Well, it was. I wanted it all facing into the middle, but oh, look at these wee leaf coats chatting to each other. Oh, I love it. I absolutely adore it. So why don't we take a wee first-person adventure from our big old wee tree district centre past our... I love it! Past the water schlapers with storage to get on our offset path to check out our wee leafy coats and see which direction the wind's flowing. Oh, look at our leaf coats! Hello, leafy coats! Hello, Bobby leafy coat. What's going on? See, I can hang about with his new and you can't escape us. You just have to listen to his chappy shite. And I suppose Bono over here can just be paused. Maybe go be a hauler over here. Now we don't quite have that many beavers just yet. So, how long do these take to grow up and everything? So the babbies, they're a 5 deer. Adults, 5 deer. They both have 4-day drought resistance, and they're both our halfway grown. Eat! So I suppose it's quite important that we did pause the old water slurpers, because we need to keep the water in this lake to keep our beavers growing. Now, unfortunately, these beavers over here are going to grow up to perpetually be homeless. Hang about, yeah? You've rotated, haven't you? I swear you've rotated. Actually, now what? I can't believe I'm doing this, but let's get a mad angle here. And D, a big owl speedy up bit for the rest of the drought. Or until these dry up, whichever comes first. And that way we'll be able to see if the leaf coats rotate on their plants, or if I was just imagining it. I don't know if you've noticed, but some of these beavers seem to grow up and then stay on the bloody plant. Like, I swear this is a fully grown bloody leaf coat. Look at him, he's raring to go, and he's like, let us out! I'm ready to conquer the wee trees. And honestly, mate, I don't blame you. And considering this is an adult, and that's an adult. Oh, look! Adult just spawned! Get it, pal! Welcome to the world. I am the cupcake that overlooks you. Hello! And it looks like yous are a bunch of bloody haulers. Now, maybe you want to get shifting before you get replanted? Yeah. Go on, get shifting, pal. And then we've got a fresh batch of babbies. Even the adults are babbies. Look at them. Hello, babby adult. Right, but how are we getting on, though? 12.7 days remaining. Didn't quite get all the way through the drought there. And we only have 1.6k water left. As well as something I was a tad concerned about. 15 homeless beavers. Now, there's not all that much I can do about the homeless beavers without working our way through all of our water supplies, which has unfortunately left us with unpausing the large water pumps. We're going to have to let these beavers dry out up here, because I've only got 4 days drought resistance, and there's definitely going to be more than 4 days worth of new water, considering we haven't even got one layer left here on the big old lake. Which does have us thinking, you know, maybe, oh my, what are yous actually doing? Or is this open because it's below 1? It's open! Nee-wee! But it looks to be pressurised, so like, why, hang on, why is 1 all the way up there? Maybe we set it to 0.85 then, and maybe we switch the world back on and try and see what was going on there. Because it really should have been switched off. Neither one of us even getting any water in there. When does it open again? I'm actually curious now. Is it just when it gets to 1? Oh look, it's closed. It's going to stay closed because it's at 1. Oh look, 0.90. Because in the second we start getting a lack of irrigation, this opens. Being half a new, these are going to have to be paused. And you know what, peeps? I'm just going to have to speed our way through the remainder of this drought. Because I can't be panicking and messing about and being all dodgy with my shenanigans. You know what? I'm even getting scared. You're going to see us pause a couple of hooses. It's not going to stop the beavers breeding though, because we're bloody growing them now. But at least it'll stop the excessive explosion of beaver population in our wee tree settlement here. But if nothing else, while we're speeding through all of these day and night cycles, you get to see all the beavers hanging about on the little rooftop terrace overhang things. But the way I see this drought going is for beavers, either going to make it or they're not. It's as simple as that. Oh no, as I said that, the lake dried up, which is going to be well before I said this in the speedy up bit. Oh no, end the speedy up bit now. Oh, here we are. The water's flowing once again. Do we have beavers just dropping dead left, right and centre? That's the real question. Beavers, please come through this door and be okay. There's not a lot of beavers knocking about, like, are there? There is not a lot of beavers. Just like there's not a lot of water knocking about. At least Bunu corked it of old age. Do we have any beavers corking it of dehydration? Not yet. But I think the yet is doing a lot of heavy lifting there. And what we certainly don't need to be doing is having these storing any water. Down to 0, down to 0, and ye down to 0. We need all the water that we can possibly get down here. Oh no, look at these thirsty leaf coats. They're so thirsty. Oh no. Right, I don't know. We need to do something. Emergency water slurper, perhaps? That could be a thing, couldn't it? Beavers, new max and product job. You need to get these 2 water slurpers in immediately so they can start slurping up some bloody water. Oh, look at all of our very... Oh, wow. I thought you were very... Oh, you're very hungry, thirsty beavers. But you need to hurry up and get these banged in. And by hurry up, I mean get in there and slip up the water, beavers. I'm going 24 working days here. We're not... Yes! It's coming out! It's... Oh, that's right, yeah. It comes out of here. I completely forgot. Oh, and good. We're replanting with beavers. Because if all of our beavers start dying of dehydration, if absolutely nothing else, we will have adult beavers grow in 5 days' time and start trying to rebuild wee trees. Oh, I do not like this. Not in the slightest. Do we at least have both of these up and running? We do. 24 working days, get all the water you can in. Not just from there, though, beavers. Also, from in here. Ooh, but the scrappers! The scrappers have scrapped this entire area. Which means we can get some builders in here and start scrapping the entire area. And I mean, the entire area. Oh, what's it? Oh, I thought there'd been a mass falling over of leaf coats. And I'll just leave it at that. Thankfully, it's just a mass homeless problem. That is much nicer to deal with. Because I can, by simply just unpausing these little hooses here. Alright, leaf coats, you can officially go back down to 18-hour working days. And I might think about pausing these two horrifically inefficient water slurpers up here. They are officially for emergency use only. Now, speaking of emergency use, we need to get this back up to 0.95. Because our beaver builders are very busy over here. And let's see if I can be even remotely clever with all of this. I want those gone, which unfortunately means deleting all of these. Ooh, that's right. We need to demolish all of these as well. Oh, beaver builders have got a lot of work to be getting along with up here, like. Ooh, but you can see, once a beaver gets this laddie out of here, we're gonna have water pishing all the way through here, and that should keep this corner irrigated. Or this corner irrigated. And I'm honestly tempted, you know, peeps. Especially after that showing there where we actually ran out of water, to slap another large water slurper in there at a high priority beavers. Oh, look at that, the leaf coats are already banging their way down the bottom there. And of course, we're going to be popping with 3 large warehouses on there. Oh no, we're not. With 3 large tanks is what we're going to be popping on there. And we are not going to be storing any water in this bit of the storage tray anymore. Yeah, now you very thirsty beavers doing there. You better get to... Look at you walking through the block there. How come you're allowed to walk through the block, but I'm not allowed to pop a bloody path through the block? Now, I did line this tree up. As you can see, it blocks that line of sight very nicely. But that was a complete coincidence, because I just wanted to have it lined up with this big old branch bridge here, properly in the middle. And yes, I've learnt my lesson this time. We're going to branch off the branch bridge, rather than connecting directly from the large water pump. So we don't have to wait for the pump to be built before we get the bloody branch bridge in. But that's not all. We'll have to pop in a connecting branch bridge to our main bridge. So now our beavers can get a boot proper nicely. And I think to even this little corner route, we'll have to do 1 hour here now and get a little corner going on here. Me wee! Another drought! Are ye having my absolute life game? I can't be dealing with this right now, like. Look at all of these. We've got 0 water. We have 0 foot. We've got a drought coming in 3 days. As these are gonna be slurping, and I'm gonna have to do a genuine, not even contrived in the slightest, cliffhanger ending of an episode. Oh, wish me luck, and tune back next week to see if we can survive yet another drought after the shortest temperate season known to beaver kind. But until then, have yourselves a lovely time, and a toodaloo.